If you're wondering if it's possible to switch employers if you're on a UK Tier 2 sponsored visa, then the short answer for you is yes. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you how to go about it. If for any reason you are in the UK on a UK Tier 2 sponsored visa and you're wanting to switch employers, or if you just know anyone that wants to switch employers and they're currently on a Tier 2 and skilled worker visa. Okay, but before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel we talk about UK visas and immigration. We talk about life in the UK, how to safely and successfully travel to the UK, and how to navigate through life as an immigrant living in the UK. Now, if this sounds like something you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. So like I said before, if you're in the UK on a Tier 2 sponsored visa, either the care worker visa or any other skilled worker visa, you can actually switch employers in the UK. However, there are certain things that you need to do if you want to switch employer. So the first thing to note is that your current employer actually sponsors your visa. Okay, so if you're wanting to change to a different employer, you will have to contact the Home Office to let them know that you are changing employers, and the new employer would need to sponsor your visa from then on. The new employer would need to be a licensed sponsor so they can sponsor your visa once you've switched employer to them. If they are not a licensed sponsor, i.e. they cannot sponsor your visa, you won't be able to switch your visas. Therefore, if you leave your current employer, you will become illegal in the country. So you need to be very careful. If you're wanting to switch employers, make sure that the new employer is a licensed sponsor for your visa. Once you have confirmed that your new employer is a licensed sponsor for your visa, then the next thing you want to do is to get your contract of employment, obviously, and inform the Home Office that you're actually switching employers so they can update your visa. Okay, and to do that, there's a form to go through, there's a form to fill online on the gov.uk website, which I'll put in the description box for you if you're interested. Okay, so you want to fill in that form to say that you are switching employers, and then the Home Office will get back in touch with you with a new visa, okay, because obviously it will be sponsored by a different employer. If you're contacting the Home Office to update your visa, you need to provide certain documents. The first one is your contract of employment, i.e. your new contract of employment from your new employer, which shows that you meet the eligibility criteria for your visa to be sponsored. You also need the new certificate of sponsorship, which is really important. So that certificate of sponsorship is what tells the Home Office that you're actually being sponsored by them going forward. Okay, so whenever your visa starts, that's when they will start their sponsorship from. Okay, you also want to provide a letter informing the Home Office that actually I've been on a sponsorship visa with company A, B, and C, put their certificate of sponsorship there, and then now I'm being employed, I'm switching employer to employer C or D or E, and this is the new certificate of sponsorship that they've given to me. Okay, you want to include your name, your date of birth. You also want to provide the date your current permission to stay in the UK starts and the date ends. Okay, so you want to give them as much information as possible so that they know that you're actually switching from one employer to another, so that they can actually update your visa. Okay, so if you've been in the UK, if you've been with that employer for less than 6 months, you will have to go through all the requirements, so IELTS test, proof of bank statement, and all of that. Everything you put in place, put together to do your application in the first place, you would need to put them in place if you are less than 6 months on that certificate of sponsorship, the old certificate of sponsorship. But if you're not, you don't have to provide all that information. You need to provide some, but not all that information. And in my next video, I'm going to go a bit further into what you need to provide if you are switching employers in the UK. You also want to provide your proof of ID, i.e. your biometric residence permit card, which you currently have, your passport, and any other identity document that you have that you provided when you did your application. Okay, so this application needs to be done online. Like I said before, you need to go online to fill the form, and it takes about 8 weeks after submission, after your biometrics, for you to be able to get a response back. So I always say it doesn't have to be 8 weeks, it could be 6 weeks, it could be 8 weeks, it could be more if you require more information. Again, it's dealt with on a case-by-case basis. The average processing time is 8 weeks, but it could be more, it could be less, depending on your situation. And of course, if you're wanting priority service, if you want a decision quicker, you can apply for priority service or the super priority service by paying extra amount of money to get your decision to you quicker. So when can you apply for the new certificate of sponsorship? You can apply for it at least 3 months before your new job starts. Okay, so that's really important. Once you've done it, submit your application and the response will be sent to you within 8 weeks. Okay, now I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you're wanting to switch employers, it is possible. You just need to make sure that you have all the documentation correct, and the letter that you attach to the application, which talks about your details and the fact that you're changing your certificate of sponsorship, you're changing your employer, is so important. We need to make sure we include that so that our visas can be updated as soon as possible. Okay, but thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I hope it's helpful. If it has helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.